Hey guys, so welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's carry on where we left off. There's been a murder on Baker Street. Not at 221B, mind you, but at Windibank's Pawnbrokery. Just down the road, Gina Lestrade has been picked up and booked as the one responsible for shooting Mr. Windibank in the back, in a locked room, no less. But I think we know better, don't we? Even though she's more or less confessed to the crime and she doesn't want legal representation, we'll give her some time to change her mind. She's been known to do that in the past, especially yesterday when she came over for dinner. In the meantime, let's go visit Herlock Sholmes in the hospital. Susato's busy talking with Lord Strongheart about confidential matters. We weren't invited to that particular meeting, which is pretty offensive. Instead, we've got chaperoning duties with Iris Wilson here, so come on, let's go visit Uncle Sholmes. St. Sinner's Hospital. Goodness me, this room has seen better days, hasn't it? 16th of April, Ward 3.
Haley! Oh.
He's not here. Where is he? On the ceiling? Hanging outside the window?
He's not here.
Or is he still in the operating theater? We did say that he was going in for surgery. Are we still a bit too early? No. That's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Haley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
Could be. Maybe that's wishful thinking, though. Maybe he's trying to solve a crime downstairs or something. Not sure. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. Yeah, guy could have been killed, man. We could have too. Now that I think about it, we gave chase to those two silhouettes in the pawnbrokery. We didn't get very far though, did we? We lost them almost straight away.
Oh.
Hello, hello. What have we here? Who's this? Oh, Bobby. This ward is off limits. No visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh? What are you doing in here?
Well, I'll have you know, we're Haley's next of kin.
Yes, we are. I'm his brother from Japan. We're only just reunited recently. Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver has a mystery family, eh? Yeah. If that's how you want to see us, sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Haley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theatre, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in.
Oh dear. Is he going to be alright?
Well, doesn't appear to be working, you see. What doesn't appear to be working? The anesthetic, that is. What? Damn, he's stubborn, he doesn't want to go to sleep.
Oh.
I've heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. What? You can counteract anesthetic with just some coffee? Interesting. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
I'm wondering about that, Constable. Maybe I'm just being way too paranoid, but I don't trust him. What was he doing yesterday? He was there at the scene of the crime yesterday. And now today he's here loitering around Herlock Sholmes' room. We couldn't see his eyes. Maybe he's like the criminal undercover or something. I don't know. I'm nervous. Anyway, he's not here. Let's move on. There's a notice board on the wall here. Look. Let's see. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron. Calmly and discreetly, huh?
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine.
Right. That's wonderful. I love being treated in a hospital full of vermin.
If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice? Oh, I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so. For Mr. Sholmes' sake. Otherwise he'll have to perform self-surgery. Interesting, we've got like 3 separate notes here that I can't examine. This must be Mr. Sholmes' bed.
Poor Hurley.
I know. Looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that would bother him.
No?
I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world.
I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that. I guess he's like me, we can sleep anywhere. Doesn't matter how uncomfortable we are, the secret is, he must always be tired. Always be sleepy. Although, judging by what he claimed about having too much coffee last night, I don't think that's a problem for him. It's interesting that we got a bunch of notes here that I can't examine or look closer into. We do have some crutches, though. I wonder what these are. You have any idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries to help them walk. You hold one under each arm, you see.
Oh! I thought a crutch was like Susato, you know? She's my crutch in the courtroom, basically. She supports me through the entire ordeal. Oh, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort. I mean, they can be. In the hands of a deadly assassin, I'm sure.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
Plenty of weapons. Syringes, medicine, poisons. We could smash that glass cabinet, turn into a shard of glass into a blade of sorts. We could smother someone with a pillow, even. Sorry, I'm just thinking like Agent 47, I think. I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and had been brought here along with his weapons, you know? Like, I brought my sword here.
That's surprisingly plausible.
I don't know if a fighter would bring weapons here. Surely it would just be boxing, no? Well, let's return to the scene of the crime, where we see Bobby here. I don't know if it's the same Bobby or a different one. They all just look the same. Never mind. They all look the same. Okay. Oh, that one doesn't have a mustache.
This is where it happened then. Last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. I mean, it's pretty clear to us that Mr. Winterbank probably wasn't killed in that room. We saw blood on the calendar, where 16th of April had ticked over, so he was obviously still alive at midnight at the very least.
But apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
I don't know, I see something on the floor down there. No, you're right about that, actually. What about the blood on the calendar?
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. What if they are? What if all of these guys are actually imposters? Oh, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, see? There's the blood on the calendar. I'm pointing at it. You can't see my fingers. Great. This is what happens when you don't have a when you don't have a camera. Oh, Inspector. Good morning. Suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. I'm not a police officer, okay? I'm not walking a beat. I haven't had work for 2 months, though. I should probably sign up at this point. I need a paycheck. Yes, sorry about that.
I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Grixie. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Oh! Your ladyship! Oh god! Okay, he's panicked. No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are attending to him as we speak. I didn't know Gregson was responsible for the for the medical board.
I don't think it's Reno's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Exactly. Thank you, Iris. God, she's like my lawyer now. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. I wonder what the relationship here is. We know he practically does whatever she tells him to. Like, we got that note from the previous case. The judge in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice. Some nice, refreshing fruit juice? What on earth's happened? Is he okay?
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grixie? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some.
Wow, okay, he wasted no time. Got the pinky up and everything. Ah. lovely. So very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. What happened? Okay. Need to find out more about that. In the meantime, though, let's converse. The investigation. So, how is the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina? You're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Wow, that was fast.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me!
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Oh, there are limits to your, obedience, huh?
Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the? Wow. Okay, how did she deduce that? And I'm glad that Gregson's on the job.
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
How could you... How? How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. That's good. Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison? She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Okay, so what about those two men? Are they in prison? Why are they witnesses? If they are responsible for shooting Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Yeah, well, he told us about the bank vault across the road, so... I guess we're in the inner circle now.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
Iris, how would you feel if not only can you not be put under anesthetic because you had too much coffee last night, but your family's gonna watch a bullet being plucked out of you? You know, like, imagine Herlock Sholmes' wide eyes just looking around, seeing Iris like staring, while the surgeons are busy trying to extract the bullet. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visited at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair amount of blood.
Oh no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, you know, as far as we can tell. I didn't see any green blood or anything. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make it better.
Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
Oh, don't make promises you can't keep, Inspector. How do I know? Because of course. Oh, yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective. That's why. He's just fantastic. He's incredible. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again, other than just complimenting him to good health.
Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley.
I don't know if he will die. I mean, you know, he's like a fungus. We can't get rid of him. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. Good to know. In the meantime, what is this deal with you and her ladyship? I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. What's the sauce, sonny? I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right. You do treat us differently.
It's because of those adventures of Herlock Sholmes stories, that's why. Ah, because she paints you in a good light in those stories? Oh. And because I'm not a writer, I don't get that same treatment? I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember really.
It was one of Shames's lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that? I can't remember. I probably should have got my editor to take that out.
And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Well, that's actually quite wholesome. Ooh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Herlock Sholmes stories. And if you start being an asshole to Iris, everyone's gonna start hating you. You're gonna be like the sudden villain in the stories. This obstructive bureaucrat, probably. You even set up a fan club for me.
Of course. That explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it'd take is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Exactly. His fate's practically in Sholmes' hands. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Grixie.
Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh god, imagine living in that fear, you know, like, god, I can imagine, like, every celebrity, you know, that's why, I could never be in the public's eye, just people constantly reading about you, everything you say, everything you tweet, every action you do, people will judge you and interpret it for however they see fit, and, you know, you got cancel culture going on. Gregson doesn't want to get cancelled, so he's trying to tread a fine line, but then how can he be his honest self, you know? Like, now he's greasing up to Iris every time he sees her. He can't be himself, which is what drew them to him in the first place, calling him smart. Now he's got to keep up this facade of intelligence, if you will.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
And now he has to live in constant fear his reputation could break at any second. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Oh, yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? What is it? I've got an important message for you. Clean forgot about it until now. An important message? I wonder what it could be. Another telegram? Who's it from? Lord Strongheart? Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? It's funny, there just seems to be so many loose ends in this game, you know? I'm just curious as to whether it's all going to get tied up in this case, or we're going to find out more about it in the sequel. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? Oh, sorry, she wasn't meeting with Lord Strongheart. She was getting questioned because she had to stay with Herlock in case he bled out. To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course, I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. Well, we really are running out of money. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' message service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. I'll be sure to let Iris know about your disapproval of my wonderful assistant's use of Scotland Yard's messaging service. Namely you as the courier.
Why did Susie have to go see Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me, but I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Nice to see him again. I wonder what his role in all this is. Okay, we're back here. Hopefully, we're on time. We know how much of a stickler he is for punctuality. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. That's not good.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so? How did you get mind-reading powers? I thought only Susato could do that.
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe he thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regards to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust?
Yes, thank you very much.
There he is. There they are. Susato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. We're going back? Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? Just her? What about me? Susato-san!
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I yelled so loud the birds are flying off.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was all that about? We're being kicked out of the country? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? What were you talking to about Mrs. Sato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? What's going on?
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial?
You mean...
She's been formally charged now? Oh dear.
Well, they're planning to, any second now. Uh-oh. She doesn't look too happy. Susato, what's wrong? Returning to our homeland? Miss Susato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan.
I need you, though. I need you in your blue book. That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill.
Oh, no. Are you gonna get back in time?
Oh no.
Professor Mikotoba? If I may? Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day.
I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we can't verify, can we? But you can't really play with fire in this circumstance, can you?
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
Can't believe this is happening. What about Gina's trial? I'm gonna need Iris to stand in beside me.
So, Gina's been charged? She'll have to appear in court?
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago. And the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later.
Gina? Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No. The yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo, who is this child? Yes, Lord Strongheart. In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. Sorry, but I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now.
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters?
Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. I wonder if he's going to be a bad guy. I mean, he certainly looks villainous. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Please, can I fit this in your 3-minute window? Which is... it's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair.
Well, she declined it, right? The public defender, even.
Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Mr. Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. I figured she wouldn't be, at the cotton candy store. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave. Goodness me, it's all happening.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste.
Where are we hasting off to?
But Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence.
What?
My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Susato, you can't be the Terminator now, okay? I need, you've got feelings and emotions. This is your family. This is your dad. Thank you, Miss Susato. Ryunosuke, what is this? You're not gonna ask her if she's sure? It's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Alright, let's get out of this creepy-ass office. Maybe she'll change her mind now that I've got my judicial assistant with me. Local prison. Cell 13.
Oh.
Hello again, Gina. Oh, here we go again. Have you fired it since last time I met you? Because you're reloading. What are you lot doing for? What are you lot here for now? To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. I love it. It's a kink of mine.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I?
She also needs to aim it through, the window.
Look. You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you.
That frame right there. Just like 3 girls, all with different emotions.
Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say.
What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell.
Huh? Farewell?
Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home. To Japan. I fear we may never meet again.
Huh? Oh, right. Well, we've only known her for 2 days, really.
I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it would be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie?
Well, that ain't my business.
Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them.
I'm not even a grown-up. Iris definitely isn't, although she behaves like one.
Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you.
Wow, okay, Susato really going for the gut punch there. What? It's my fault.
Yes. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
Ooh. My goodness, where did this come from, Chisato? Oh my gosh, she's a literary assassin.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it. By admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't.
Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. If only we had the freaking mood matrix. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? Ooh. The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted. Before he was aflamed. The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about?
Yeah. You're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
You lied, huh? Will you tell us about it now? Tell us everything! Please, I need to know! What did you lie about? The trial 2 months ago!
What you said. It all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand.
And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
I knew it. You did?
What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing. And then
the body fell.
I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor.
And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you.
Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man.
Oh. Wait, he was already dead when you sat next to him?
There weren't much light to see by, but when I looked at my hands, I had the cove's blood all over him. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak.
You had his blood on your hands? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Yeah.
Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all.
What do you mean?
I mean, he threatened me.
Threaten you how?
He made me swear. About what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was going to do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up.
So he'd already arranged to have a witness testify in his favor. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Right now. You've got nothing left to lose. You're already in prison. Oh god, what you saw, what you heard. What did you see? You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, see? I couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me up on my arm. That's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where I'd been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny.
The music disc.
A disc?
Do you mean...
Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Winterbanks.
So the music box disc was there, on the floor of the omnibus.
Not for long. McGilden spotted it straight away. Picked it up smartish and stuffed it in his inside pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago, at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder.
And the bog trotter told me. I went to mutter a word of it to no one.
Huh. What you heard?
Because it was so dark under the seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably that was McGilded getting on board.
No, not only him.
He was with someone else? Oh.
Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people.
2 people? And no one saw this other person?
In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
This conniving Irishman.
But whenever I'm in the carriage, I take it with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it.
That's me on a plane, by the way. It's always easier for me to sleep on a plane, so I can get to my destination faster because the screens are too small, the food's horrible.
Your own testimony, Gina, supported his. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
Right. But he wasn't asleep, was he? He was wide awake, plotting and scheming.
Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices.
What? What were they talking about?
Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other.
Well, yeah, he was in the loan book, right? So they had to have known each other if he was going to lend money to him. So McGilded was lying, as I suspected. After the event.
I knew it weren't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The 2 coves from up top ran off to get the coppers.
Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First.
Right. And after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favour.
A favour? The driver?
Now then, fella. What I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker.
Oh. So he got involved too.
And for your troubles, let's see now. Hi, I'll give you 10 guineas.
A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Winterbanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded had opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions.
Wait, hang on. Let me think about this for a second. I could be wrong, but I thought the coat was deposited with the pawnbroker the same day of the trial, when the omnibus was lit aflame. Wasn't that when the coat was deposited? So the driver didn't deposit it until the next day? Is that what's happened? McGilded's conditions. What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. This just all seems rather complex for no reason. Like, why did McGilded kill him on a carriage, you know? Like, it's a locked room mystery, basically. You're not gonna really get away with it. Surely a man of his wealth could have just hired someone to do the deed. Why did he have to get involved? It must have been a spur-of-the-moment thing, right? It kind of been planned.
Not telling a soul. Not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well.
There's more?
Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said. I'm off to sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it till then. Is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Winterbank so it is, and you're to extend the loan for the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. God, it's so hard to maintain these different accents. That's £5. That should be enough. So if he's delayed at all, she was supposed to extend the loan, but she was claiming it, wasn't she? Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police now, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What it is that you might say, and what it is that you won't.
Damn, he really was smarter than we gave him credit for. Truly like a criminal mastermind level.
After he'd gone over it all, I piked it. I got as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark.
So Matilda planned it and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I suppose she claimed it because she thought him dead. He's not going to pick it up at all. Very interesting.
I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so he couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with.
Well, if he was threatening you, I can't really blame you, can I?
What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us. And we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean, Mr. McGilded would have... In a heartbeat, he could have had the lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where we could have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice.
Damn. I fully understand, man. Like, I don't blame... At least you've come clean now. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid.
Well, you could make amends by doing me a simple favor.
A favor? What?
Let me defend you. Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Damn, Ryunosuke.
Huh?
We're gonna kill you with kindness. That's my ultimate revenge. If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork, or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright. Right?
We don't know. But we do know that he's gonna be okay. But we don't know. But I know. That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything.
Right. So what you're saying is, for signing that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it?
Something like that. Mr. Sato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here.
Come on. You know you want to. Just write your name here. Don't read the fine print.
I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing.
It's not about your pride, Gina. Please. It's about my hero complex. Let me save you.
Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Gina's representation papers have been entered into the court record. The paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense. Showing this to Scotland Yard detectives gains us access to the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibanks now.
Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there.
Perhaps. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windibanks. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Oh boy, this is ramping up now. Oh man, the mystery continues. I'm going to need to think about this. What on earth was McGilden up to?